Hi class, this is Biochemistry, Module 15, Carbohydrates, Glycosaminoglycan, and Naming Properties of Carbohydrates. We have the main lesson would be heteropolysaccharide, and polysaccharides which on hydrolysis yields mixture of heteropolysaccharides and derived products. There are two main groups. We have neutral mucopolysaccharides and acid mucopolysaccharides. So we have neutral made up of N-acetyl, hexosamine, and hexose. So example of those occurring in bacteria are so-called mucoids, including important immunological and specific blood group substances. We have acid mucopolysaccharide contain hexuronic acid, sulfate, and phosphate. We have hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is made up of D-glucuronic acid and D-glucosamine and acetic acid in equimolecular amount. It serves as a cementing substance in the tissues, which allows the passage only of metabolites but not the infecting microorganisms. However, if it is fragmented by hyaluronidase or spreading factor niya. Spreading factor, nag-spread din man siya. Wait lang. So, from bacteria, allowing the diffusion and spread of bacterial infection. We have heparin. Heparin is an important acid mucopolysaccharide secreted by the lung tissue and certain types of cell lining the arterial blood vessels. Powerful inhibitor of blood clotting. No? Kung maghambal ka nga, inhibit blood clotting, meaning blood thinner siya. Thus preventing intravascular coagulation, meaning hindi mag-clot ang dugo. So this can be used in strokes also. So they have 5 glycosaminoglycans or GAG and mucopolysaccharides. Hyaluronic acid contains D-glucuronic acid and glucosamine. It is a sulfate-free GAG, no, or glycosaminoglycan. So present in high concentration in testes, seminal fluid, and in certain snakes and insect venoms. So serve as lubricant, and shock absorbent in the joints. So if this is your joints class, ang joints may fluid na di between. Why? Hindi pwede nga ang may friction diri, di ba, ang joints giho. So it needs to have, dapat blue siya. It needs to have liquid para ang joints when it's moving, hindi siya mapudpod ang aton nga diri. So there are conditions nga ang hyaluronic acid sa aton nga joints are absent. So it turns nga gaka pudpod ang joints tapos ang bones. So we have hyaluronidase enzyme of semen degrades the gel wound ovum and allows effective penetration of sperm into ovum. We have chondroitin sulfate, the most abundant GAG in the body, or the most abundant glycosaminoglycans in the body. Contain D-glucuronic acid and galactosamine. So it is present in cartilages, tendons, ligament, and aorta, which helps maintain their shape. So later on, you have chondroitin sulfate already in your body. But if you're you're getting older, also the collagen, the keratin, ganubo man na siya. And also, chondroitin sulfate. So, we have supplements for that. So, osteoarthritis, the amount of chondroitin sulfate decreases while that of hyaluronic acid increases. So, when there is HEL, which is ang heparin, taton palatandaan naman, another antidote that I want you to not necessarily important here in biochemistry, but very important in your pharmacology. When there is HEL, there is peace. No? Where it says the antidote of heparin is protamine sulfate. So heparin, you have to understand that heparin has the clotting ability. Okay? Ay, wait lang. Inhibitor of blood clotting. Ay, okay. Sala niya siya. So, when there is HEL, there is peace. Kaya ang antidote sa aton nga protamine is heparin is protamine sulfate. So, ang moisturizer nga ginagamit ta in the beauty industry is our hyaluronic acid. And the condotrin is available in the pharmacy and made a supplement for making the bones more stronger. More stronger and prevent osteoarthritis. So we have keratan sulfate. Keratan contains D-galactose plus glucosamine and only GAG with no uronic acid, found in the cornea and tendon. There are two types of keratan. We have keratan sulfate 1 and keratan sulfate 2. So ang keratan sulfate 1 is found in the cornea, or which is ang location sang eyes ta. And we have keratan sulfate 2 found in the skeletal muscle, and it maintains the corneal transparency. So we have dermatan sulfate contains L-iduronic acid plus glucosamine found in the skin, blood vessels, heart valves, and cornea. Its presence in the sclera maintains overall shape in the eyes, and major GAG synthesized by arterial smooth muscle cells. We have heparin. Heparin is anti-coagulant, meaning blood thinner sa Japan. Anti-coagulant, it inhibits coagulation. So, heparin is blood thinner. Your heparin is blood thinner. Thus, your protamine is your blood thinner. Protamine is your hala, di lang gid. Ano ni man? Ay, ambot. So, heparin is your blood thinner. Coagulant naman si protamine. So, naming of polysaccharide. Hexose is termed as hexosan. So, starch-yielding glucose is known as glucosan. Starch-yielding fructose is known as fructosan. So, the differences between sugar and starch. So, we have we have different between sugar and starch. Properties or physical state, no, crystalline solid, starch, amorphous solid. So, may ari ni siya class nga gina sa pharmacology nga mas or sa biochemistry man mismo nga ang amorphous solids are more absorbed than the crystal. Okay? Sa taste naman niya, kung sugar, sweet. Kung starch, tasteless. In the solubility of water, in water, sugar is soluble. Ang starch is slightly soluble in water. Hydroxide. 2 insoluble in a cold water, soluble in hot. So, mag-gel siya. Ang aton nga tawagan niya ang slurry. We have properties in carbohydrates. In physical, monosaccharide and oligosaccharides, white crystalline solid soluble in water, optically active due to the presence of chiral carbons. No? Dextrorotatory, for example, this is your carbon. This is your carbon. And rotating to the right is your dextrorotatory, and rotating to the left is your levorotatory. So, sweet taste siya. And in polysaccharides, amorphous solid, low molecular weight from colloidal dispersion in water, and high molecular weight are insoluble in water, not sweet, no flavor at all. In chemical naman yung properties of carbohydrates, we have disaccharides. So, ang lactose, glugal, sucrose, glufro, maltose, glu, cellulose, 2-beta-2 glucose. So, gagwa niya siya sa board exam namon. I hope hindi niya magwa sa inyo. Pero, just in case I'm not getting your exams kasi no, I did not make your exams in lecture, but I know the laboratory. Anyways, lactose is glugal, sucrose, glufro, maltose, glu, cellulose, 2-beta, and glu. So, amo nang ginatandaan na naman sa una. So, I hope this will not pero just in case, you have to be familiarized. In starch hydrolysis, starch, amylodextrin, erythrodextrin, arthrodextrin, maltose, and glucose. Agents of hydrolysis, we have heat, acid, bases, and enzyme. Reducing properties of action of carbohydrates attributed to a free aldehyde and ketone group. Reducing test, all are oxidized into acids, and reducing sugars are called as such because, example, Felling's test, reduction is due to the reduction of cupric sulfate or cuprous oxide, going to cuprous oxide. And the fermentation complex process which involves the breaking down of complex substances with the aid of biological catalysts called enzymes. So we have ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide are the products of fermentation of sugars. So we have osazone formation. Reagent of osazone is phenylhydrazine. So the resulting or the positive result if my osazone is yellow crystal or yellow PPT. Precipitate, wait lang. Osazone, okay. We have osazone formation aids in the identification of number 1, maltose. Kung maltose class, amo ni ang tsuraya under microscope. Kung lactose, kung petal shape siya. Kung lactose, wala di lactose, okay. Kung lactose, powder puff shape. Kung galactose ay rhombic shape siya. Balls with thorny edge shaped crystals, galactose. And if glucose, amo ni ang color niya. Amo ni yung glucose, fructose and mannose. Same lang. Broom shape. Each ozazone has a definite melting point and length of time for ozazone formation. So, kung xylose, fine long needle-shaped crystals. Kung maltose, ang diri ka mo na lang base sang pag-identify sang shape, no? But just to make this more mas matandaan nyo, amo ning mga amo ning mga tsura sang crystals under the microscope. Okay? So, we have 3 reactions involved in ozazone formation. We have glucosazone, formation of glucosazone, formation of fructazazone, and formation of mannosazone. So, mannose is the first one to form an ozazone. So, we have Molish test, an general test for carbohydrates except triose and tetralose, which lacks the minimum requisite of 5 carbon atoms. So, reagent of Molish test is, amo pag iniklas, sa una, when we are in biochemistry, ginapatandaan nila sa amon ang reagents. So, I hope, hopefully, magwa siya, hindi nga random lang ang tanan. Anyways, a positive test is violent ring at the junction. So, if this is your Molish test, no? This is the controlled. Amo ni ang may fructose. Amo ni may glucose. Amo ni ang sucrose. Kag amo ni ang starch. So, tanan sila may purple ring. No? Depende na lang na kung ano ang this has fructose in it, ang iyang this has glucose, this has sucrose, and this is starch. So, purple ring tanan, no? And Benedict's test, no? This is the blue solution. This is the Benedict's solution. Ang color ni, di ba tatlo ni siya? 3 C's ni siya. So, kung traces of reducing sugar, pwede nga green or yellow PPT ang green or yellow PPT ang gwa. Kung orange naman, may moderate siya nga sugar. Kag kung brick red, large amount of reducing sugar naman niya. Kung orange, moderate amount of reducing sugar. Kung green or yellow, traces lang of reducing sugar. I think that's it for Module 15, and thank you everyone.